Over the past 3 seasons, Kirby Dach has only played 117 games. A combination of wrist issues, concussions, and most recently a torn ACL and a torn MCL have kept him from finding any real consistency. But here's what you might have missed. Over an 18-game stretch last season, Dach put up 13 points, and 8 of those were goals. It's the best that we've seen him since 22-23, when he managed 15 points over the course of 18 games. Cue dramatic music. And those games just happened to be at the end of the season, when Kirby Dach had just started to find any sort of consistency. Now headed into the 2025-2026 season, Dach will be, sounds like he's going to be healthy. He's going to be lining up with, likely, Ivan Demidov, and say what you will about his performance so far, one of the most dangerous snipers in the league with Patrik Laine. So, for the first time in his entire career, the table is set for Dach. It's a contract year, there's no more excuses. Will he live up to the expectations, or is he going to crumble under the pressure? Let's talk about it.
But I got a specialty dessert that's real good. I can make it.
You gotta
nicer.
get her there first.
It's been a quiet few weeks, huh, guys? If you're anything like me, you're hurting for hockey. And I thought it was kind of funny when people were saying only, 100 days left until hockey starts. Now they're saying, 78 days until the season starts. 112,320 minutes until the season starts. Yeah, it's not funny anymore. The storylines are piling up. The stage has been set. Just get it started. I'm a fan of the 84 game season now. I'm a fan of the 134 game season now. I'm also a fan of being less than 200 subscribers away from 15,000 subscribers. This is huge. I think that there's no way we don't do it before the end of summer, although I gotta be straight with you guys. It's getting hard to come up with ideas for videos that I don't feel are patronizing you guys a little bit. So let me know in the comments what you want to see for videos. I've already collected a bunch of great ideas. A really good idea that was brought up was Montreal trade trees. The one that was mentioned recently was Patrik Laine's trade tree. Yeah, it's somewhat topical because Yaroslav Halak just retired and he was the starting point, right? He was at the starting point of that trade tree. So that's a neat idea. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're talking about Kirby Dach.
Picks number 13 and 66 to the Chicago Blackhawks for Kirby Dach.
Dach was drafted 3rd overall in 2019, a big rangy center with soft hands and good vision, but he never found his footing in Chicago. And in 2022, Kent Hughes made a big swing to bring him to Montreal. His first year with the Canadiens, he showed promise. 38 points in 58 games. That could have been a 54-point season for Dach if he could have just stayed on the ice. And that's the thing with him, isn't it? Because we all know what happened in the 23-24 season. He played 2 games. He was a point-per-game player that season. 2 assists. But he was taken out, knee injury, season over. Last season, 57 games played. He played 1 less game last season than he did in 22-23 and only managed 22 points. That's 0.39 points per game. Whereas 22-23, it was more like 0.66 per game. Like I said, though, he shows those flashes where he's able to produce consistency. And let's be honest, Dach hasn't always had the best line mates to build chemistry with. He saw some time on the wing with Suzuki and Caulfield, but they never really clicked. It felt like a square peg in a round hole situation. He also had shifts with Slav, Armia, Newhook, Anderson, a lot of mix and match, but not much momentum. The best flashes we saw were with Laine and Newhook. He wasn't humming per se, but he was allowed to do some of the things that I think he can do best. So let's look forward to this season. It's expected that Dach will center between Ivan Demidov and Patrik Laine, potentially someone else. That line is not set in stone. You never know what's going to happen. But to me personally, that spot is for Dach to still lose at this point. He hasn't been able to identify himself one way or the other. The organization is good like that to their players. They let you prove whether or not you deserve that spot. You could also argue either way. But if you're strictly thinking about this as an employer-employee situation, Dach has to keep that role. Demidov deserves it, right? He deserves his shot at the second line. I just don't know if he's going to deserve the line mates that he finds there. If I'm being pessimistic, I think that this could be a great marriage. And then Patrik Laine, there are those of you who think that he blew his shot last season. But with 20 goals and 13 assists after having what looked like potentially a season-ending injury, again, I don't think that you can say that Patrik Laine failed miserably in his performance report. So let's talk about how that lineup would work. Dach is great at zone entry. Say what you will about how he's babied, he gets a lot of offensive zone starts, but he can transport that puck and he doesn't always have to rely on the dump and chase. He's not blazing fast. He's strong on the puck and he's like deceptively shifty through the neutral zone. He's a zone entry machine and he sometimes gets punished for it.
The big hit by Radko on Dach.
And here's another one. Whoa!
Kind of said this before, but I'm thinking out loud while I'm doing this. I'm imagining Dach bringing the puck into the zone, Demidov having the ability to read the play, look where everybody's at, and I think that's when the magic could happen, right? Demidov has incredible hands, but what really stands out to me personally is his IQ. We've already witnessed it. He knows where the puck needs to go before he has it, and he knows where he needs to be in order to receive the puck. So I think that's the right recipe right there. Dach enters the zone, draws attention, dishes to Demidov if he can get it to Demidov, and then bringing up the rear where you could probably imagine where he'd be. Laine is in position to finish. To me, this trio has a natural rhythm. Dach is the engine, Demidov is the connector, and Laine is the finisher. So that being said, what should we expect in terms of production for Dach? I've done this before. I've already done it with Bolduc, but okay, let's try it with Dach. This is a real big question mark for me. I am going to base this on 72 games. And even that feels optimistic, doesn't it? But if I think that Ivan Demidov is who everybody is saying Ivan Demidov is, but I am also kind of cautiously optimistic about Demidov. I think that the second line could generate some points, and a lot of points by accident of being just on Demidov's line. A willful bystander. I'm seeing a lot of numbers tossed around. I've seen somebody that I respect. I'm not going to mention them, but I respect their opinion. I've seen them say that Demidov could break 100 points this season. Sometimes I'm there. Sometimes I'm that optimistic, but I just can't imagine that. I think that, a lot of people are saying 70 points this season. I think that is a realistic expectation. I don't think that he's going to have 70 points this season. I think that the start of the season is going to be really rough. If the start of the season wouldn't have been so rough, 70 points seems very, very realistic. It's totally doable for Demidov. That being said, I'm kind of thinking he's going to hit around the 60-point range. I have to think about that a little bit more. Don't quote me on that. I might change my mind. But if that happens, and we already know what to expect from Patrik Laine, we know that I don't think Dach is going to find his way onto the first line. I just can't see it unless injuries. Then I think that Dach is going to land somewhere between 43 and 48 points. Now, if things are clicking, if he's finding those strides and hitting his personal best, I think he will do between 52 and 55 points this season. But I think that his absolute ceiling is 60 points. If he plays 82 games, fine. Maybe he'll do better than that. But Kirby Dach is what you call a bandage boy. He's never played an entire season in the 6 seasons that he's played in the NHL. And you see this. There's players that just will never play an entire season. Kirby, are you watching this video? That's you. You're not going to play 82 games this season. Prove me wrong. The other component of this is a prediction that I'm going to make, and it's the red flag of this line. It's the defense. Dach isn't a shutdown center. Demidov's a rookie. And Laine ain't exactly Patrice Bergeron. They need smart deployments, and their defensive pairing could be what make or breaks them. So I see a lot of individuals saying, hey, the second line could be bolstered by Hutson or Dobson. And I think that's going to happen. That's going to be tried. The best defense is a good offense after all. But this line is just so thin defensively. And we've seen parts of this line get caught in the defensive zone. So I think, and my prediction is that this line will be often found with Mike Matheson and Alexandre Perrier. Two guys who can still stabilize things while still moving the puck up the ice. Like, our defense is crazy this season, right, guys? So why is this an important season? Why does this all matter so much? And why does it matter a lot to Kirby Dach? Well, he's 24 now. He's not a prospect anymore. He should be entering his prime. And obviously there's a lot of pressure on him. He's a big piece of the puzzle for the Canadiens. So if he stays healthy, if he can put together a 55-point season, something like that, that completely transforms Montreal's depth down the middle. He would earn a contract. I'm not saying that it's going to be like a 7-year, $8 million contract or anything like that, but he would have proved himself, and he wouldn't send Kent Hughes off looking for that elusive 2C. A solid 2C lets Demidov flourish with no pressure. It gives the first line support, right? And let's be honest, it lets the team take another step. The second line has been missing. You could put wanted posters all around Montreal and people would be like, yeah, the second line is missing. That's not controversial. And if the second line is a success story, to me, that's more important than, Demidov's Calder. But I guess those things kind of go hand in hand, right? All right, that's going to do it for me, guys. I talked long enough, although this was a really fun video. Hope you liked it. I hope you guys are all right, having a good summer as usual, like I always like to say. Nothing too much new with me. What have I done recently? Went swimming with my son and my daughter. That was kind of fun. Although public pools, my gosh, they're overcrowded. Been working away at work. It's work continues to be very busy throughout the summer. But yeah, just keeping cool, really. Enjoying my time with the kids on the weekends. Yeah, just hope you're all taking care, and you know what to do. Like the video, helps me out with YouTube-y stuff. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I would love to have you. And as always, I will see you down in the comments.